Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Paladins Open Bracket Qualifiers. My name is Rainday. This is Hi-Rez, Pretty Hair. It's time to get things going. We've got another semifinal coming up for you all watching, and it's going to be an exciting one. Eager versus Divine Esports.
Divine Esports.
Divine. They must be
first time in the semis.
And it's Sunday. Ooh. The energy might be with them.
I'm excited to see the new Eager roster play for the first time here. They've been practicing. They've been playing their bot games. I heard they can win the PvE mode almost every time now.
I heard that too. In fact, if you want to be just like Eager, you might want to play Los Pollos Fernandos, the PvE challenge that is new in the realm. We've been putting these out to give you a chance to play some interesting and very challenging matches.
This one's hard. This one's a lot
bots.
harder than the other one. And it's 4 Fernandos that have 3,000 damage fireballs. They just one-shot you, and then they have a little pip to heal them up.
And it's not for nothing. I mean, you were able to get 50 crystals off of that, so make sure you play that and check that out in the realm today. We're ready for the maps for Game 1, though. But before we even talk about maps, Nick, Stonekeep will be where we played. Frozen Garden, Timbermill, banned out. You know, a lot of people looking at these teams here can look at the path of Eager and Divine Esports, maybe saying, hey, they got a little bit of an easier road here.
Yeah, it just comes off the back of the soft seeding now. Some of the better teams are split up this time. We're ready to get into the champion draft here for game number 1. We'll see if Divine Esports deserve their spot. Did they earn their spot here in the semifinals? See what they can do against Eager. First pick, Makoa.
First pick, Makoa as well. Eager not being a highly, contended team last weekend, getting out of the matchup
against a great team,
round of 16. Unfortunately, last week. Now come here and they're seated against the #1 team who won last weekend. Actually beat them. So in many ways, the Eager themselves had maybe the toughest route here, according to last week's power rankings, and they're able to come through. So maybe something has shifted here for Eager, for Bitey, for stolzey, a name we haven't said in quite a while, but he's back with this new team. It would be interesting to see their synergy, and I'm also really interested to see, is stolzey gonna just hold W with Maeve?
Where do these guys go? What do they play? We haven't seen them in some time. Where does stolzey fit into the over? Does he fill in Z1 shoes? He doesn't typically play Eevee. That was a big proponent, a big part of what Z1 Unknown. Does he play Cassie? He didn't play a lot of Cassie. That was normally Doseups or even Cusscutie that would play that on the match point roster. So a lot of question marks surrounding stolzey and his role within his new team.
He's not going to get a chance, Nick. Divine Esports clean up Maeve. They also take Ruckus off the board for Team Eager. So now looking at their, obviously, damage flex options here, some teams have gone at this point to go with another healer, to go with another tank, get some extra front line. They're dealing with 2 front lines on the side of Divine Esports. What are they looking to do here as Eager? What would you do?
Is a possibility. Eevee's locked in, but Cassie's still being on the table. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I think every team is going to have a Cassie player. It's such a strong all-around pick, but it will be the Torvald. That was a question mark. That's been answered.
So, I really think that the key for Eager taking the Torvald here is the Fernando. I think the Fernando just is null and void on a lot of these maps and a lot of these situations with Torvald. And they've got damage. I mean, Shaolin and Eevee, they can win enough of these fights with just that damage. And Torvald in the backline as well, just providing the pressure. It's going to be nice.
And who does this Maeve go on now? It's a good pick against the Maeve. Bubbling whoever she's looking at. Bitey's going to be playing the Torvald Wi-Fi on Makoa, Awry on Maldamba, stolzey on Shaolin, and ShadeeyShades on Eevee.
TotallyNotSmurf on Ruckus for Divine Esports. BubblyBubbleS on Drogos.
BubblyBubbleS
30, I know. Chalk's 30. We've seen him before. He is on the Fernando. ItsAspect is on the Ying, and IAmLuxanna on the Maeve. Very appropriate name for the Maeve. Actually kind of works with the profile picture there, but it's Bitey on that Torvald that I really want to follow along with. This will be interesting to see how he goes about.
What's his loadout? That's the question here. Does he go for the protection loadout here? We can follow this Torvald into the fight. Maybe take a quick peek at his loadout. See if he's running that protection style that Match Point have been doing. It's the Wind Dancer.
Wind Dancer.
And the protection cooldown as well. So giving 40% move speed to whoever does receive that bubble shield, silencing him out, draining a lot of that shields there, keeping himself topped off as much as he can. ShadeeyShades, though, opening things up with first blood onto BubblyBubbleS.
That's a lot.
BubblyBubbleS.
BubblyBubbleS, Bubble Boy is getting everything. Bubble's getting the extra pressure and extra love, especially from the damage dealers on the side of Eager. Bitey basically barely staying alive. Maeve doesn't notice him yet. The gourd from Aldamba is going to heal him up, but Luxanna will find the kill after that. Salvo hits down onto the Makoa. He's going to shell spin away, knock up BubblyBubbleS, and stay that offensive for now. 27% to 21. Pretty even start to this match so far. This point fight's just getting started.
27% here now, trying to keep that going. ShadeeyShades gets in with the bubble, but he doesn't have a lot that he can get done. Eevee's not super great at busting up the point control right now. Going to go up, try and take the 1v1 here onto the May, but she's so mobile. She's already gone, just laying down some point fire as well. 70%. Something's got to happen.
Nice hook.
And soon, but just advancing back onto the point. Eats the stun, though, and will be taken down. Bitey credited with that kill. Now, both of the frontliners. This is the first time I think we've seen double frontliner on both teams.
Yeah, and it's working to create a very sustain-oriented point fight. Both teams now at 75% each. It's a very rare thing to see them both climb by about 30% each objective. And now it looks like it will finally be the zone continuing for Team Eager. They will follow through. stolzey finds himself on a 4 streak, and ShadeeyShades on a 6 streak as well. Great follow-up on Wi-Fi's hook. I know that he's an excellent Makoa player, and he's looking to continue the trends there as ShadeeyShades finds some more damage onto the back line with those huge shots from Eevee. Looking to finish off the ruckus if he can. Great hook again by Wi-Fi, and the synergy with him and ShadeeyShades is unmatched right now.
Ice Storm coming out to keep Fernando and Ying locked in the corner, but there's no follow-up. No follow-up there at all to a great Ice Storm that locked down two very crucial parts of Divine Esports. And with the 4v5 scenario, it was very strange that Eager didn't try to press that and get something off.
ShadeeyShades doing a great job, as well as stolzey, just to bait and stay alive. Goes into plane and immediately, and will get taken down. ItsAspect again, the Ying following up. So important for the healers to contribute in the damage arena when they can. It can often mean the difference between a dead stolzey or a stolzey that's in the back line shooting you for damage. There's the Dread Serpent looking to just secure 1 kill on into the ruckus. He's gonna get silenced out, and this should do it despite Ying throwing out the ultimate. The Hyper Beam is available. This could mean that Fernando, Ying, and everyone around gets flown off this map if overtime starts to tick away. But they've got 1 minute and 17 seconds to do this. The Dragon Punch is gonna stay that idea for at least a moment.
But goes down immediately there. BubblyBubbleS gets eliminated with stolzey there, trying to get the stun off. Gets one more Mending Spear, falling so low, but into the safety of his gourd. Awry will find himself alive. Wi-Fi is there, and stolzey finds the last kill of the round onto Luxanna to give his team the window they need. Record 2's already online. ShadeeyShades and stolzey have picked this up. Wi-Fi has his Cauterize too. Everyone has their ultimate except the Dread Serpent and the Ice Storm that were used in the previous round. No ultimates online for Divine Esports, down 2-0. Not where you want to be against Eager.
So what's the goal here? I mean, how do they change this up? Luxanna not really finding the rhythm on the Maeve. Is it just he's getting countered by the Torvald so much?
It's definitely going to be tough to find a pick on anyone, you know. With the double frontliner, it's stolzey's really the only one that she can go on to and go all in and get a kill, because Maldamba is going to be able to just throw a gourd at his feet and beat Tanky. He's going to be right near the frontliners as well, and stolzey's going to be getting that protection bubble almost every time. The Hyper Beam here, haven't seen it come out just yet, but straight to the back line. These frontliners are going stolzey. Is first blood in this round.
Just waiting for the ruckus to be pulled, and they finish that off. Wi-Fi, great kill to isolate the target up on Stone Keep. I love the strategy there by Eager. The Runic Blast not available yet. Can't silence the Maeve out, so she will dash away. And a protection just used to make sure that his Maldamba stays alive. Not using recharge yet, saving that for the Fernando shield. But again, he's not having those personal shields up on his own. Maybe he doesn't need it. 51% ticket for Eager.
Hook into the Runic Blast. The silence here is the combo that Eager, that's their bread and butter right now. Wi-Fi and the Ice Storm is going to be off the mark. Fernando wisely charging out of that one. Even still, I don't know if ShadeeyShades would have been able to win that 1v1. I mean, Fernando can go to toe-to-toe with most of the flankers and come out on top.
Absolutely. I mean, he can throw the shield back up, and, you know, Eevee, of course, has the ice block, but would the damage really come out fast enough? Either way, it's all conjecture, because Eager are 3-0 up on Stone Keep versus Divine Esports. Looking to handle this pretty well. stolzey having a solid but quiet game on Shaolin. Just from the back line, pops Heat Haze, looks for one shot, misses the second. Goes for more. Maeve gets pulled by Wi-Fi.
So much
Follows
burst.
up on that. The burst is absolutely ridiculous on that Makoa hook. And the team is playing synergistic and understanding of each other so that they're able to follow up. It's much more easier said than done.
Look at these frontliners.
But Eager are doing it, man.
Oh, misstep there from Eager. The Hyper Beam came out at the same time as the hook, and Wi-Fi actually saved Torvald's life. stolzey, though, getting the double kill as he is now under no pressure. Good night, good morning, Maeve. She dashes just to reposition herself and gets taken out by stolzey. When he's under no pressure, 4 kills in that engagement for stolzey. The frontliners are doing the job of the flanks here, getting all the pressure off him. stolzey free firing is finding value on all of these shots.
I mean, Wi-Fi on these hooks, the Dread Serpent is almost overkill. They have just been dominating this point fight, and in the air, in the dragon form, he gets taken down. Shaolin goes into Planet. stolzey doesn't need it because Bitey comes over to save any attempt Fernando had at addressing onto him with the Runic Blast. That silence so powerful, Eager so strong, and Divine Esports left without a win. Go down 0-1 in this best-of-5 set against Team Eager.
And it's not like Divine didn't have the tools they needed to break that Torvald Makoa. They had the Drogos, they have the Dragon Punch with no Immortal to counter it out. We only saw one come through. The second trying to hang on. Bubbles just shut down mid-flight. 29,000 damage, 22,000 for the Maeve there, and barely beating out there Fernando's damage, just struggling to do anything in the backline. This Torvald shutting down so much of that Maeve aggression. And
stolzey again, 63,000 damage, 51,000 for ShadeeyShades, 0 deaths for the Eevee, which is a very impressive feat there. Just didn't have any way to deal with her. Man, we're ready for the map screen to move on into the next game. It will be played on Frog Isle, Eager versus Divine Esports. And Divine come out of that not looking too strong, Nick.
No,
not looking too strong there against Eager.
They got blasted a little bit. They got blasted. And Frog Isle's, the Torvald pick's only going to be better, especially if Divine are looking to lean on this Maeve in any way, shape, or form. Eager with the first pick again, going into the Makoa. I mean, that was one of the strongest parts of that composition there. Wi-Fi just landing the hooks every single time. And then the follow-up, either silence or just death from stolzey being there to follow it up. So much combo potential. Eager have shown that they're masterful at pulling off these combos, and it's so effective. You know, Makoa hook, it's been a staple. People have played around it for a while, but just getting back to your roots, that's just, you can make that a guaranteed kill if you really want to, and Eager did almost every time.
Makoa taken for Eager again to start the things off. Divine Esports follow with the Drogos and the Fernando. One more time, Maldamba selected at a very high level, but not at the level that we've seen in previous matches versus AGG and Astral Authority. But this time, Maeve is selected for Team Eager.
This is where you take Torvald if you're Divine. If you can run it, this is where you run it.
Because if not, it's going to leave Eager open to grab it one more time. And there it is, Divine Esports grab Torvald. Not going to let that Fernando get countered one more time.
Shaolin. This is a good draft from Divine, though. It's double frontliners that are susceptible to Wrecker, and they have somehow gotten themselves Drogos and Shaolin, both very effective shield busters.
Now, Cassie and Ruckus could come out here for Team Eager to round things out. Wouldn't be a bad lineup for them. You could also, I guess, look at Frog Isle. There's a couple of different damage choices, but again, they will go with the Cassie. Again, these are kind of the characters we're seeing in this meta right now, especially for North America. Pip, though, will round things out for Divine Esports. Pip has not been the champion to signal you're winning this game. That has not been the case, except today, you know, Cuscuity and them, they won on that first map on Jaguar Falls. It just, typically, we just see the Pips underperform.
And we only typically talk about Evil Mojo, but he does bring a lot in the way of slows and decent damage as well. That more damage than most of the other supports can bring. ShadeeyShades will be playing Maeve
here we go.
This time around, so the Torvald bubbles have to be on point to try and slow this down. A fairly evenly spread shred too, so cooldown, but he is also running Savagery Chase for just some speed bonus in Prowl, as well as Walk It Off. I'm just not a huge fan of Walk It Off, because how many times do you actually sit in Prowl for the full duration?
I mean, it's not even that much. It lasts for 4 seconds. It's 400. I mean, 400 health is good, but I don't know. I mean, going into the extra Savagery, you have the 9 lives. I don't know. There's a lot of other places to do it. I mean, some people would rather have another second off of Pounce. I don't mind Walk It Off, but I think not having Savagery in your deck is a little odd in terms of that's your
Maybe
main
it's just
combo.
my play
That's your
style.
fight.
I only ever use Prowl just to try and reposition. I always use my dash for damage.
Yeah, sometimes the offensive reposition here can keep you in the fight. There's the daggers from ShadeeyShades. 1850 health. It's not going to save her from Shaolin. She doesn't have Haven, so he will be able to two-shot her very effectively. So you got to be careful. ShadeeyShades trying to pick his area. And there goes into the Torvald. The shields are very low at this point. Going to dash to reposition. Here's Prowl. Here's Walk It Off coming into play. Nick was at 930. But the thing is, with Prowl, you actually lose that bonus once you start activating your knives or your abilities. So 27% for Divine Esports. ShadeeyShades yet to have a big effect until now when he slays the Pip.
Fernando rolling around. There's just so much control, so much space control for Divine Esports right now. They're not even worried about this. They're not worried about losing the Pip. Awry goes down as well, and Shock's 30 able to escape that alive. It doesn't look like Eager are going to have any chance of coming back in this one. Zoning Fire Spit as well. Shaolin's falling lower and lower. Eager looking to make their move now, but a big salvo puts both of the frontliners at extremely low HP at the start of this team fight.
IAmLuxanna gets taken down by ShadeeyShades. Bitey gets a kill onto the Torvald. And Awry now finishing things off on TotallyNotSmurf. Divine Esports looking to fall and crumble a little bit here. Nice little man fight there going on between the Bow brothers, except it's a chick on one side. stolzey repping Cassie, 2100 health, looking to keep all of that in this fight if he can. 81% on the objective for them. Sight fails you. Heat Haze popped by Shaolin.
Nice. Bursting down. Shaolin on his way in. Here comes the Evil Mojo, though. One frontliner will fall. The other will still stand. Big Dread Serpent providing a lot of zone control. 99% for Eager. The Torvald goes down, and Divine Esports are about to give this point up as Eager clean them up. That's a big misstep if you're Divine. Eager are coming back into that fight when you're at 99%. Makoa and Ruckus are at basically one shot, and somehow you find a way to lose that fight.
Not going Divine Esports' way again in these games. Team Eager having a little bit of luck on their side, maybe after a bit of not having so much luck last weekend, getting out in the round of 16. Now find themselves potentially one step closer to winning this game, and then one game away from getting to the finals. There's still a lot to do. Divine Esports aren't going to give this one up easy. 1:55 on the clock for them. They're going to hold the defense now. You're going to regroup, try to reposition, give ShadeeyShades an option to go to that back line as soon as he can.
Just popping in, popping back out. Is Bitey trying to find some pokes, soften up some targets, maybe for ShadeeyShades to get in near midnight. Be a good opportunity for this to come out and try and break this defense. A lot of burst damage, but the Torvald bubble just negates a lot of it.
Great setup too by Wi-Fi. He and his teammates are just so in sync with these pulls. There's a silence, and that Runic Blast will be effective for me, but not when Wi-Fi is going to hook you out of any follow-up damage. Torvald, obviously pretty decent counter to Maeve,
nice hook.
But Wi-Fi with the hook from Makoa, pretty decent counter to almost everything.
stolzey's there to clean it up. Minute remaining on this payload push as we round the final corner. Hyper Beam is a big factor here, though, as Eager come down the line out of stealth. Doesn't matter. Wi-Fi will find you. You cannot hide from him. There's another nice hook onto Drogos. Has yet to miss a hook, it feels like. And the Hyper Beam, the Torvald goes down as well, so no Hyper Beam to try and save this. Immortal is the only thing, and it doesn't come out. 2-0 for Eager.
Dude, where's my life?
Dude.
That's what they're saying on the enemy team. Dude, it's the sequel. It's the sequel, guys. If you saw the first movie, it's one of my favorites. I am looking at, again, Divine Esports finding a rhythm in this game. They had a moment, Nick, where they were 99%.
They shouldn't have lost that payload.
And that's demoralizing. And so now, given that, they've kind of given Team Eager what they needed to get back into the snowball zone. Will, with items, they be able to kind of change the dynamic?
They're looking to snowball. You see these rejuvenates coming out. This is it's not a good late game item. This is a very good early game item. It's a great way to spend your 300 credits that you have as a flat lead to try and counter these cauterized ones, because these rejuvenate 2s on stolzey, it's 10% per level, so they're basically nullifying these cauterizes by and large, because Maldama pumps out so much healing. It's an Evil Mojo around the corner, and it doesn't come through. Big whiff there. Overextends, punished as well here, so now Eager in a great spot to take this fight.
This is the Pip problem. You have to do it perfectly, and so oftentimes you miss that one shot, and that's what you're hinging on. Torvald's going to try the Runic Blast, but it will only delay the inevitable, him going down to the onslaught of teammates from Team Eager.
Why that early, though? Just let them come on to the point and then do it. You don't have to go for this long-range cross-map Evil Mojo that only you can follow. None of those teams, look at your team. No one can keep up with you if you're a Pip. Shaolin, Drogo, Torvald, Fernando, no one can keep up with you to follow up on that Evil Mojo. That's all on him. If he was trying to go for that play by himself, Wi-Fi, I'll see you later. Was nice, but Eager already getting the payload captured.
But Wi-Fi did so much in that fight, Nick, able to clean up a lot of kills, set up a lot of kills as well, as he's been doing consistently. stolzey trying to roll back. Didn't press W this time, and unfortunately falls as a result. Should have rolled forward, dude. That's your thing. And of course, the gourd comes down. Awry looking to find a long-range stun and hit the Mending Spirits onto his targets. 3-0 for Team Eager now. Divine Esports, again, not in the driver's seat. Had a couple of misplays here. They just don't seem to have synergy the way Eager does. They're not following up on the kills, Nick. They're not following up on the damage. This could be game unless they change things right now.
Wi-Fi falling lower and lower here. The recharge comes out, doesn't even go to absorb the shell shield, and he knows there's a Mave buzzing around in the back line.
Nice bubble, though.
Trying to keep his teammate alive. 2 kills, though, going the way of Eager. Fernando's all by himself on the low ground here. He's going to fall down as well. stolzey picking up kills left, right, and center. Torvald falls down, and just nothing. They're just dismantled right now. Not fighting as a unit are Divine Esports right now.
Frogile so open as well, because they have just the ability to run away from him in any direction. It's not like Jaguar Falls where you can get in there and there's maybe only a couple places you can dodge from. So you got to take a staircase, you got to jump up. They really have so much open space here, and Torvald is just being absolutely wrecked. That ultimate is not even going to find one kill. Chalk's 30 might be able to get credit for that one. I don't know if Torvald actually sent him off the map and he just got the damage over time, but Torvald just hasn't worked for them.
The record 2 here for ShadeeyShades, allowing him to just poke down that Fernando shield a little bit. 16 streak for Awry in the backline here on this Maldom, but the planted, though, isn't enough. Doesn't find the mark there. TotallyNotSmurf goes down to Wi-Fi's Makoa, and with Wi-Fi not missing hooks like this, your team fight is on a timer, because Eager get a kill every time they land a hook. And, you know, as this comes off cooldown, that's another member of your team falling. They got to get something going here. This Torvald eating headshots like a boss, but Grandpa falls eventually there. There's the Dread Serpent as well to counter the aggression. Hexafire, everything is being laid on the line for Eager right now. Ancient Rage was there, should they need it, but they are just blasting through another 4-0 victory for Team Eager. Beautiful snowball on Frogile.
Wi-Fi is playing like a boss. I mean, that's the only way to really explain this. He's absolutely hitting every hook on Makoa, and it's obvious.
Are properly following up on them.
Yeah.
They're getting the hook every time. They're putting Divine on a timer. They're saying, every 6 seconds, we're going to hook someone, and they're going to die. You have to beat us before that happens.
And Awry as well, coming in 80,000 healing for his team. 15,000 damage, you know, a little bit half of what the tanks and, you know, Mave are doing, a little bit under that. But only 1 death, so
Great
stayed alive very long. Good Dread
Serpent.
I mean, he definitely performed at a high level for his team.
Name the game there for Eager. 11-minute win on Frogile. Head on over to the map screen to see where the next game of this series will be played. Divine now scrambling for an answer, scrambling for even a payload here against Eager, who are looking strong. Jaguar Falls will be the selection. Can Divine find a win?
So Eager, they went into this last fight, excuse me, Divine, they went into this last round knowing the Torvald was important on Frogile, knowing how well the Torvald went for Eager in game 1, and they weren't able to use it as well. That's the kind of trap that playing well with the champion does without a ban phase in this type of esport right now. You have to take it, and if you take it and you underperform, it loses synergy for your team. They didn't seem to handle it. I wouldn't expect Divine Esports to grab the Torvald here. In fact,
for the Fernando and the Drogos.
Yeah, I think it'll be on Eager.
Do Eager recognize that, though? Do they have the same process that you did, and can they realize that they can take the Torvald later in the game, maybe even going for the Mave? Mave not having a super high impact today, I think, overall. I mean, there has been the Torvald there. So, again, they go with the early Mave, and this puts, I mean, no matter what, you or I could step in and play Torvald and just bubble people, right?
We would be
and counter what Mave can do.
We'd be all right.
But It's like if they're not good at it, sure they can pick it and do that. But like you mentioned, there's a lot more to Torvald that you need to be doing: draining shields, silencing people, all that good stuff. And if you're not bringing that to the table, then it's just not worth picking up. And it looks like Divine Esports want to lean that way. They don't have a healer, they don't have another frontliner, so they're going all in on these damage picks, trying to get their guys where they're comfortable, I think, to just try and blast through Eager.
This could be Drogos. This could be Eevee Torvald. I think
maybe Androxus.
And stolzey wants to get crazy, throws a Sky in there. Huh? How about
maybe
that?
Androxus.
How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? All right,
they're going to catch him outside. They're going to catch the hands.
Androxus comes in. That's what they need. That's what they need.
Yeah.
stolzey could be on that one as well. He'll have a very good time on that, one of his iconic champions. But there it is. The Torvald on Eager now. Divine Esports, that didn't work for them. It's a wash. Trying to get back to their roots. They got a strong squad on paper. Fernando, Drogos, Cassie, Shaolin, Ying. The problem is Torvald is going to eat that Fernando alive. But can Drogos and Shaolin really follow up and get those shields down from
with
the
that much damage? A couple of things can go wrong for Divine here. stolzey can go off for one, and his playstyle is aggro. You mentioned hold W. That's his motto. God help the team that has to go against stolzey's Androxus with Torvald bubbles.
Oh, gosh.
You know, to supplement him with 40% move speed.
Right.
God help that person.
Now, is Bitey still running the Wind Dancer? It'd be interesting to take a look at that for Team Eager, seeing in his deck if he's still going with that movement speed priority. He is. And so he's going to give, obviously, shields to stolzey or to ShadeeyShades on the Maeve. It's going to allow him to get shields back for himself, and he's going to really just reduce the cooldown and give them that huge movement speed bonus. And I really want to see how that impacts their play.
So the way Divine drafted, they said, forget the tanks, forget the healer. They picked Shaolin, Cassie, and Drogos as their priority picks. These are obviously their comfort picks.
Wow.
They have to find something with them. This is the only way. That's the only reason you draft like that, is because those are comfort picks for you.
stolzey hitting 6 shots in a row, hits 2 on a Ying clone. I guess that counts, hits another one, and that's a headshot as well. Goes in for the dash, hits 2 more, gets 3 kills in this fight. And dear God didn't even see a bubble. He doesn't need one. But imagine if he got
it
one.
just for the movement speed.
I mean, that's just nuts right there, especially on the chase potential. You talk about Wind Dancer. I mean, this is a card I've always liked in the Torvald lineup. It's a cool one, right? I mean, I love the way that we've seen Hearthwarder and Time Shaper come up. But now Wind Dancer, I think, being played at a high level is cool to see. But the applications are different. Not only offensive to chase, but defensive. When Makoa hooks you, if you throw that bubble, they can really create some distance.
Absolutely. To keep your teammates alive, that has to be something that you recognize. ShadeeyShades looks like he's going to be lone wolfing it there. stolzey has been the recipient of most of the bubbles thus far, but Maeve has more sustain built into her kit than Androxus does, so she's a little bit more content to do that. I think Wi-Fi's in a rough spot.
Oh, nice.
If he gets out here, okay, he does not get out there. They needed to find that kill there. stolzey landing every single shot. Almost has a cursed arm on the board. He is beating Torvald in the ult department by 30%.
Oh man, BubblyBubbleS come through to finish off stolzey and give him a little bit of break to, you know, say, hey buddy, you've been doing a lot of work out on the battlefield. I understand that you are kind of wrecking my team. And so I'm going to make sure that you just get a little bit of a rest. Go on vacation for a while. Let us try to defend. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi is giving them no rest here. Hook after hook after hook comes through. Awry going to use Slither to get close. And what an instinctive mid experience as well. This Awry is just really keeping his team alive here. And this Torvald's feeling boosted.
Maldamba has the Dread Serpent ready to go. Just trying to... You're not going to win that. Torvald's either going to protect... You're either going to be on Torvald, who's getting healed by Maldamba, or you could be on Maldamba in that situation, who's going to get bubbled every 3 seconds by Torvald. You're absolutely not going to win that. Chalk's 30, punished for that one. Hyper Beam is ready to go here, but Torvald is extremely low. A Cursed Arm was used as well. Double kill. Eager just running through Divine Sports right now.
That was embarrassing, man. I think stolzey missed a shot there.
Yeah.
That's got to hurt, man, on TV. Yeah, oh, wow.
They're so far ahead in credits, in ult charge, I think in morale at this point. Divine, it's a long road to come back against a very good team that's firing on all cylinders. They're working well together.
Double
is a
Chronos.
big thing as well. Chronos 2.
Round 2.
I mean, that's a lot. That's 1,200 credits that Bitey already has to spend. Awry is actually beating him in credits because he's got more in hand, having spent the same amount. So the supports can oftentimes do that if they're getting a lot of healing, if they're sitting on the point the entire time. And Maldamba is especially good at that, given the range at which he can heal. But just There's no answer right now from Divine Esports.
Team Eager looking to finish this one off and get themselves in the finals as quickly as possible. This is what happened last round. stolzey just took this flank and just absolutely dominated, took the position to poke, but now he gets poked out. BubblyBubbleS takes down stolzey for the second time in this match, and ShadeeyShades is on the Mave in the backside, looking to send them into darkness with her ultimate Midnight. Now just looks to collect herself, reposition, and help on the duel in the mid lane. There's the ultimate. There's Frog Isle. But no, not quite. This is Jaguar Falls, buddy. You're going to have to be careful. It doesn't send people off the map quite yet at that angle. And so he does not get any kills, but he forces him into a bad spot, and stolzey is back in the meanwhile.
I mean, that fight was going well for Divine Esports. They got the pick on a stolzey. They didn't give up any picks while they stayed together. The second Cassie stepped out of position, stepped alone, Maeve picked her off. The second Fernando stepped on the point, he takes 80% of his health. They need to just stay together or Eager is going to pick them apart. They have two flankers, a Torvald and Makoa. They have all the tools they need. You know,
my gosh.
Oh, wow. He wasn't even going for that hook, but out of position or not, Makoa can just make you out of position. And then on top of that, having double flank, the second any one of your squishier targets steps out of position, they're dead. So they need to fight together. They need to stay behind this Fernando shield and try and play around that.
stolzey getting boosted with Wind Dancer. Great synergy from Bitey and stolzey in real life and in this game as well. stolzey's going to need the shield in just a moment. Reversal comes through. He's going to reset the dashes. So he's going to stay in the air. Bitey actually cannot finish off the bubble. Didn't even look up at that direction. Maybe just was a little focused on finishing his target. stolzey will go back to base yet again, but the push continues, and that is the most important thing right now for Team Eager. They're 2-0 up. They can finish off the set and this game with a push here. The Cassie ultimate will come out to scout, see where Team Eager is coming from, but here's the Dread Serpent.
Planted, impale, forces the Ancient Rage a little bit early in that fight. Immortal comes out to keep everyone from Divine alive for now, but as soon as it falls, two members from Divine fall as well. Able to answer back onto one is Bubbles, but they're poked out so low. This is fresh meat for Maeve. Eager punch it through, and you know, basically the other end of the spectrum. The other semifinal took an hour and a half. That one felt like it took about 25 minutes. What time is it?
I don't know, man. I mean, time for a break soon.
Time flies.
I mean, unbelievable. It took less than a half hour.
I mean,
wow.
I knew they were gonna need a Divine blessing, and Divine unable to get it done there. 8 minutes and 40. That is one of the fastest games I've ever seen. stolzey there, 35,000 damage on Androxus, setting a blazing pace there. Bitey keeping him alive for the most part with those bubbles.
Yep.
And just dominant snowball play from Eager.
So
not much to break down there.
Let's look at the bracket for today. It all has ended with Eager and AGG in the finals. Coming up next on your screens, we are going to, as always, go to a short break. But that was very fast. If it's anything like this last set, we'll be right back in like
our break's going to take about as long as that game did.
And of course, guys, remember, stay tuned here. We'll be back in just a second for the finals. Eager and AGG. Low spoilers, Fernando's.
Go win yourself some PvE while we're on break. You can get a couple of those wins there. Need to find 5 this week. You get a 50 crystal bump. Giving you a little love there. Thank you guys so much for being here with us on this beautiful Sunday, and we'll see you in a minute.
All right.